Hello and welcome to our special Royal Wedding edition from M's Kitchen. We created a menu inspired by dishes from Southern Africa. So we've made 2 desserts and we're making 2 mains and a cocktail. And I just want to talk you through this recipe really quickly, which is chocolate fudge brownie. So it consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ingredients. I've got 500 grams of icing sugar, 5 tablespoons of sifted cocoa, 1 beaten egg, 250 grams of butter that I'm about to melt, and I've got a packet of biscuits, and I've taken a rolling pin and I've just put it in a plastic bag, and I've basically relieved some stress by just batting it down with that into this powdery consistency. So I'm just heating up the pan so that I can melt the butter. So I've got 250 grams of butter in here. Now this is a chocolate fudge brownie, so it tastes like fudge. It's as easy peasy as brownies, but basically it's made in minutes as opposed to taking, ages, and it doesn't actually have to be baked either, which is, as far as I'm concerned, is always a bonus. So this is one of those perfect last minute recipes that you can make if you're looking forward to a celebration or you've got a bake sale or anything like that. So this would work perfectly for that. Love the combination of biscuit with the chocolate. You can, if you are gluten-free or whatever, just use the gluten-free biscuit of your choosing. It's absolutely fine. These are just ordinary tea biscuits. So there's nothing particularly special about their flavour. There's some really great gluten-free, etc. biscuits out there at the moment, so it's well worth looking into. So once I've melted the butter, I'm just going to turn the heat right down. And you have to work quite quickly with this, okay, because if you don't work fast, basically what happens is it becomes quite hard to do. Okay, so I'm just going to take this and I'm going to just literally put the cocoa in this pot, and then I'm going to take the wooden spoon and I'm going to add it, and I'm going to whisk the living daylight out of this really quickly. And because it's icing sugar, if there's any moisture in the pan whatsoever, like in this case, it would get stuck to the bottom. So it takes a little bit longer. I'm just putting that to the side. I am using a wooden spoon. I just find that it works much faster. It's much easier. It's better on the pan. It's gentler on the wrist. So I've turned this right down to the lowest heat setting. Okay, remember, icing sugar fundamentally is sugar and corn flour, so it does melt, but it also thickens. So it gets thick, which is why you've got to be fast. And you just keep stirring this. Just keep stirring it until everything is dissolved. So I'll show you in a second what this looks like. Just making sure that I'm taking all the icing sugar so there's no white sticking out or obviously visible when I stir this round. So basically you've got a consistency like that. It's quite a thick consistency, and it looks a bit like well, I suppose it looks a bit sort of like a bit like mud, really. So I'm just taking the egg now. Now the egg for this is responsible for the gloss of this. If you don't add the egg, I'll show you in a second the difference it makes. Now you have to work with this. You've got to really give that arm of yours work out, okay? As I'm saying, a wooden spoon is definitely the thing to use for this. And just to show you that lovely, beautiful chocolatey shine that it's got right now. And I'm turning the heat off completely now. And I'm just taking the biscuits that I've turned into a fairly fine powder. And I'm just adding that into the pot. Trying not to make too much of a mess. And then I'm just integrating that, just stirring that in. And again, this is brilliant arm workout. It's a very easy thing to do. You can get the kids involved. It's a great dish to make if you need to prepare something really quickly. So what I've done is I've just got these tins and I have just put some baking parchment in one. I just find that it's a bit easier to do that, and I'm just going to really quickly transfer this into there. Now this pot is hot, just remember that, so just handle with care. And I'm just transferring, just spooning this out, trying to sort of get it fairly evenly into this container. It's probably a good idea to have a spatula as well. I just find generally that it makes it easier. So I've just got a spatula here, and I'm just going to take the chocolate off the spoon. And I'm just going to very quickly push the mixture into the corner so that it fills out this container. And you do want to work fairly quickly. You can't really take your time with this one, purely and simply because it sets quite quickly. It's chocolate, and obviously with the sugar and stuff, and it does set quite quickly. Now I'm just going to take the spatula. I just want to get the rest or the maximum amount of this mixture out of this pan. I'm just going to transfer that. So you don't have to do that, but that is quite a lot. That is, you know, one person's brownie basically. So I just want to make sure that I've got all of it in here. Now depending on how I feel at the time, I can spend a lot of time making this absolutely perfect, getting it all completely level and straight and into the corners and all the same sort of thickness throughout and consistency. That's absolutely fine, but you really don't need to do that. You know, you can make it look really rustic. You can add things like some nuts or something on here just to make it look beautiful, some cherries, some, you know, anything like that, any kind of peel, bit of, you know, anything that you like with chocolate, orange, lovely, maybe a bit of, I think orange zest would be quite nice. And it's as simple as that. And basically these are your chocolate fudge brownies. So this goes in the fridge now for overnight. And then you need to make sure it's absolutely ice cold before you cut. This sharp knife will do it. You can dip it into some hot water just to make sure the edges are smooth. And so this is our chocolate fudge brownie tribute to the royal couple. Have a lovely wedding.